Alright, welcome back to the Vantage Point YouTube channel, and Wednesday again, so another random Status Quo song review. So our number generator has kicked out number 90 this week, so quite far away from the Don't Stop album, you'll be pleased to know. And back in the classic era, though not an album track, it is You Lost to Love, which was the B-side to the single Rain. So I assume most people back in the day who bought this single, it's the first time they'd have heard You Lost to Love, and it probably comes across as quite different from the A-side, which is one of Quo's classic hard rocking up tempo headbanging tunes, staple of the live set. And then on the other side you've got You Lost to Love, which is a lot more laid back. I've obviously got one of these jukebox versions that you need to get a wee spider on to be able to play on your turntable. I honestly haven't played this record in a long time. Obviously I didn't buy this when it came out, got it many years later. It's the first time I came across this song was on kind of the mid-90s compilation, The Other Side of Status Quo. And to be honest, it's the song didn't do much for me at the time, and actually the kind of the class era Frantic 4 tracks that were on that compilation were the ones I didn't like. Them songs like this and Joanne, which was I think the B-side from Caroline, whereas I much preferred all the more kind of 80s up-tempo B-sides, which I think slightly demonstrates Quo knowing what they wanted as a band back in the 70s. Songs like this were clear B-sides and didn't get on albums, and I don't think you'd listen to this track or the one we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, Lonely Night, or the aforementioned Joanne, and go, yeah, actually I think that's better than some of the songs from the kind of parent album it should have been on it. Whereas when you get to the 80s, there's a lot of those songs, you listen to them and you go, yeah, why is this one not an album? Because there's some tracks on the album which are a lot worse. But yeah, the song it starts with a kind of languid guitar riff, and then you straight into the vocals, and it kind of plods along. It's definitely not an up-tempo track. It's very kind of laid back and kind of sung laid back. And it just kind of goes from verse to chorus without any real noticeable change in the music underneath. There's no guitar solo or any real instrumental break. There's a kind of nice riff that comes after each chorus, just kind of a short instrumental section, but certainly nothing that takes the song off in a new direction. And then during the second chorus, John Coughlin gets to work on the cymbals. He's certainly thrashing away in them, and he does that in the third chorus and right into the end of the song. It's maybe the highlight of the tune, just listening to him doing that. I mean, the song starts to fade out at 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so it's certainly not a long song. It does kind of feel like we've got this little tune, let's record it this afternoon, and that was that. It doesn't feel like one they've worked on and honed the arrangement and come up with new little bits to make it exciting or different. It does feel just like Rossi and Young have written this on an acoustic guitar, let's play it with electrics, and done. That'll do as a little extra track. When I put it on earlier, I had to listen to a couple of the Blue For You tracks, because I assume it's recorded at the same sessions, and I think you can tell the difference, just the production and the mix. They seem a lot fuller and nicer sounding. There's a lot more bass coming through when I listen to Ease Your Mind, and that's a fact. Then this, it just seems a very perfunctory mix, and it doesn't feel like a lot of work's gone into it. So yeah, it's a nice little tune. I think I would just categorise it as occasional listen, like Lonely Night from the other week. It's okay when it comes on. It's just a little laid back tune, but it doesn't move me or get me excited or anything. So yes, I don't think there was very much. I've got the song by song book about the Quo. I don't think there was very much written about it in this. Right. This non-album song was released as the B-side to Rain, a tuneful pop song with a slightly rocky edge, sung by Rossi and distinguished by a dose of tremolo in one of the rhythm guitars during the instrumental passages. The number can be found as a bonus track on the 2005 Mercury reissue of the album. So yes, not a lot about it there. So yes, that's You Lost the Love. That's episode 15 of my random Status Quo song reviews. So it's still quite a few weeks to go before I get to the end of all the tracks I've got in my spreadsheet. Hopefully you'll join me next week for episode 16.